Would you like to have Vladimir Putin back in the G7, make it the G8 again?
So it was the G8 for a long time, and now it's the G7. And a lot of the time we talk about Russia. We're talking about Russia because I've gone to numerous G7 meetings. And I guess President Obama, because Putin outsmarted him, President Obama thought it wasn't a good thing to have Russia in, so he wanted Russia out. But I think it's much more appropriate to have Russia in. It should be the G8 because a lot of the things we talk about have to do with Russia. So I could certainly see it being the G8 again, and if somebody would make that motion, I would certainly be disposed to think about it very favorably. But as you know, for most of the time, it was the G8. It included Russia, and President Obama didn't want Russia in because he got outsmarted. Well, that's not the way it really should work.
Mr. President, 2 years ago,
Is Tom Sullivan your choice for U.S. ambassador?
He's somebody that's being put up and respected very much to Russia.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, very respected.
So he's your pick, or yours?
Well, I know that Mike Pompeo likes him very much, and he's very respected. He could very well be, yeah. It's a war that has been going on for almost 19 years now, and frankly, it's ridiculous. But with that being said, it's a dangerous place, and we have to always keep an eye on it.
Sounds like you'd like to pull completely out if you could.
I'd like to look at various alternatives. One of the alternatives is going on right now. We're talking about a plan. I don't know whether or not the plan's going to be acceptable to me, and maybe it's not going to be acceptable to them. But we are talking. We have good talks going, and we'll see what happens. This is more than other presidents have done. But we have brought it down. We are bringing some of our troops back, but we have to have a presence, yes. John? Right now, what we're doing is we're negotiating with the government and we're negotiating with the Taliban, and we'll see what happens from it, what's coming from it. I will say this, the Taliban would like to stop fighting us. They would like to stop fighting us. They've lost a lot, but we'll see what happens. And remember, it's a tough place. The Soviet Union became Russia because of Afghanistan. That's what happened. Very simple. They became Russia because of Afghanistan. Somebody would say, oh, well, would Russia go in? I said, if they want, let them. I think they tried that before. However, didn't work out too well.
Can the Taliban be trusted, or could we be right back to where
Nobody
we
can
were
be trusted.
pre-9/11?
Nobody can be
Are
trusted.
you worried that we could?
In my world, in this world, I think nobody can be trusted.
But could we be back to where we were pre-9/11 with the Taliban in complete
Well,
control?
that's what we have to watch. And we'll always have intelligence, and we'll always have somebody there. But you can say that about a lot of places, John. You know, it doesn't have to be that sector. But that does seem to be the Harvard University of terrorism, okay? It seems to be. And we'll always have somebody there. So I spoke with Boris Johnson. I think he's going to be a great prime minister. I think he's going to do a fantastic job. I've known him. A lot of people know that we have a very good relationship. I think he'll be far superior. I think he'll do something that will be I think he's going to be very important for the UK. I think he's going to be very important. Dealing with the European Union, I hate to say this to you, but dealing with the European Union is very difficult. They drive a hard bargain. They're represented by Jean-Claude, who is a friend of mine, but he's a tough man. He's a very, very tough man, and he's a great negotiator. And we have all the cards in this country because all we'd have to do is tax their cars, and they would give us anything they wanted because they send millions of Mercedes over, they send millions of BMWs over. But we're talking to the European Union. We're going to see if we can work something out. But I will say this, dealing with the UK, they have not treated the UK very well. That's a very tough bargain they're driving, the European Union. It's a very tough bargain. And I think that UK has the right man in charge right now, the right person in charge in the form of Boris.